started this channel in the summer of 2022. Here's, first video I ever made was a long-term review of a Breville Barista Express. Not highly viewed. My second video in the long run ended up being really probably one of my better performing videos over time, a video that a lot of people appreciated, which was looking at the Eureka Mignon line of espresso grinders. But this channel's a hobby, and I made a conscious decision very early on not to pursue it like a job or a source of income. I know from experience that once I have to do something, all the fun really just gets drained right out of it. Nevertheless, I figured that if YouTube was going to run ads on all my videos anyway, I might as well find out what that's worth. And so this past August, my channel reached the criteria with 1,000 subscribers and enough views that I became monetized. So in this video, I figured I'd give you a little bit of a look into the vast riches and wealth that I have amassed from the literal dozens of views that I get per day. So if we flip over to my channel analytics here, and I go into the lifetime revenue for my channel, here you'll see a pretty clear marker where I got monetized in August of 2023. And so it kind of, takes off from there. And so let's look at kind of what happened over the first 6 months of monetization for this channel. And so here we are from August 1st, 2023 through January 31st of 2024. If you look, the grand total earnings, $399.51. That works out to roughly $2.20 a day. And just in case you're wondering, that doesn't come even close to paying for the content that I've made on this channel. Just for reference, if I go to this recent video that I did on coffee water, performed really poorly, but look, this video alone cost like $150 to make because of the tools and all the testing equipment that I got to make sure that I did everything correctly. And as you can see, as of this point, it has 113 views. That doesn't bother me. It's just the reality of what this is. But it is a pretty big yikes on the cost per view for this video. Now, if I switch over and we look at the views that I've gotten, my channel during the same 6-month period has 121,200 and some change views. So that works out to about $3.30 per 1,000 views on the channel. From what I've seen, that seems to be a fairly typical earnings rate for a small channel. It seems like unless you're like a really quickly growing viral channel, $2 to $5 per 1,000 views seems to be kind of where things end up. And kind of more interesting to me than this is what videos in particular have really performed well. Because like digging into this, as it turns out, over 25%, like 1/4 of the money for my channel comes from just one video. You'll see these big revenue spikes coming into the revenue stream, and that's because a particular video I've got every so often just generates massive amounts of revenue in a single day compared to the typical video on my channel. So if I scroll down here, you'll see my top videos, and the two highest performing videos as far as views are the two videos on the Beelink S12 Pro, which is kind of funny because that first video I made just spur of the moment. I actually was getting that PC to run Home Assistant, and I just figured I'd kick out a video since I had it, and it ended up being fairly popular compared to the rest of the content on the channel. And then I had to make the follow-up video simply because it died like right after I uploaded the review. And I was like, holy crap, I just told people all about this computer and it just died. So I kind of had to make that follow-up. And those have been really popular. I think just it's a big market. The mini PC market right now is kind of hot, and I think that was just more serendipity. It wasn't really a focus for me. I just kicked those videos out and they did pretty well. Close behind that was the Home Assistant voice remote, which was one of the more satisfying projects that I ever did. It all came together really well in that project as far as the final product. And, you know, sadly enough, two of my best videos as far as projects I've done, I actually put out before I was monetized. And so, you know, I would have liked to have seen how well those videos would have done. And that's the automated coffee grinder and the Bluetooth scale videos. Those got picked up on some external websites, and that would have been cool to see what that would have done if there had been any bumps from those videos. But again, you know, I put them out whenever I did them, and that was before I got monetized. Now let's look at the top earning content, and here's where, like I said, it just gets super interesting. So here is the daily chart of revenue for my channel during this time period. You see these big spikes, and those all come from one video, which is the Factor versus Fresh and Lean video. Again, this to me is hilarious because it's not the video that gets watched the most, although it is one of the top 5 most popular videos during this time period. And it's also another video that I just it's a one-off, something that I randomly did because I was a little ticked off at the meal subscriptions that I was using. And so I just kicked this video out, and it has earned like 4 times as much as any other video I've made, even though it only gets half the views that the B-Link videos get. So it's way more profitable compared to any other video that I've made. And so, like, if I look at the revenue per 1,000 views, again, my channel average is $3.30 over this time period. $3.24 is what this says. Whereas this Factor versus Fresh and Lean video, almost $15 per 1,000 views. It's just by far the highest revenue per view video. And again, it's not even close. It just dwarfs everything else I have. I think perhaps there's just more marketing money in food delivery because, I mean, you see a lot more ads for those. Just compared to electronics or shooting sports or even espresso, it's just, I think, a high value audience and high value content area. And that's where, again, you see these random spikes where the revenue per 1,000 just jumps up. And I guess they're running like ad campaigns, and somehow maybe my video gets hit with some very targeted ads. But you see here on September 21st, I earned $280 per 1,000 views on that day. Now I didn't get 1,000 views, but it made like 10 or 12 bucks on a single day, which again, in comparison to the rest of my channel, is really, really crazy high. And so that's been very interesting to me that happens. And that's maybe a good area to kind of talk about a little bit if you're interested in ever creating a channel. Different types of content earn different amounts of money. And I think food in general is a very broadly popular category that's very advertiser friendly. And so that may be an area where there's more money around to be earned compared to, again, really specialist hobby stuff like tech or maybe even shooting sports. I'm actually a little surprised that my shooting videos actually do a little bit better than some of the electronics videos, especially like the espresso stuff. You know, it does okay, but like the pure tech stuff really doesn't do well on my channel, whereas some of the good RPM videos have been like the reloading equipment stuff, and I would have thought that those wouldn't have been advertiser friendly enough, but maybe electronics is just too dorky and too niche, and so it just doesn't pick up as much advertiser money. I don't really know. So let's wrap this thing up, because again, this isn't a big in-depth thing. I just wanted to give you a little peek into what goes on behind the scenes here as far as you know, where the money's going and how it's not coming in. But, you know, some may be wondering, hey, am I going to eventually try to tilt my content over towards what may be more lucrative stuff, right? And the answer is nope. As I said at the beginning, this channel is a hobby, and I don't want to ever, I think I don't want to ever make it a job or something where money's a big consideration. I want to just make the videos that I want to make. And like, if you look through my content, it's kind of a bunch of videos with low view counts, and every now and then there'll be a video that punches up a bit higher. And so you get a little punctuated view pops every now and then. And, you know, even if I leaned into maybe the more lucrative content, which I said, hey, maybe it's food, you know, I made a cooking video and like nobody watched it, which again, I'm not upset about that. I'm just saying that gives me feedback that that's probably not even a good strategy. You know, I've got several videos on food or espresso or this or that, and they don't hit real hard with people. And again, I'm okay with that. You know, chasing views and chasing money probably wouldn't work even if I tried it. And I'm just not dedicated enough to making catchy videos to really do that well at being a YouTube star. And again, that's where I've settled into that, yeah, I'm good with that. This is a hobby. I want it to stay a hobby. I just want to be able to do what I want. The few dollars that come in are really just more of a bonus than anything else. I don't have an upload schedule. I don't stress about coming up with content ideas. This is fine. And I want you to kind of rest assured if you ever watch this video, which again, history shows that a lot of people probably won't. Look, I will never be that person that asks you to smash a like button, share my content, or subscribe. But I do always appreciate you watching. Thanks.